It's through radio, on the radio, no radio. And today we're talking about accountability versus responsibility. Do you know the difference? Most people don't. It doesn't matter. We're going to go over it today. You're probably wondering where I'm sitting. I am in my trunk because I am hiding from bugs. If you've been watching my other videos, you see I get attacked a good amount. And lastly, I'm dressed as what others would like to say is a doctor. I agree with them, but I am not a doctor. I am dressed as a scientist because that's what I do. So, jumping right into it, let's look at the words we have here. You have accountability, which means the fact or condition of being responsible. So it has responsible in it. As to responsible means having an obligation to do something or having control over or care for someone or something. With responsibility, it may refer to being the boss or owner of a task or event. So that's accountability versus responsibility. So how responsibility plays a role in accountability is it means being responsible for something and held liable for your actions. And that's the accountability side. So with accountability, you can only be held accountable after an action is or isn't completed. And that's very important. Now with responsibility, it can happen before and or after an action or assignment is complete. So you can have responsibility for something before you're even designated to do it. You're looking for results from it. Let's just say like that. So my examples are, with my son, he takes out the trash, right? So my son is responsible for the taking out the trash. His responsibility is before and or after the task is assigned. Now, because he's responsible for taking out the trash, I hold him accountable if he doesn't take the trash out, right? So he can get a good consequence or a bad consequence, but he's held accountable for not taking the trash out. As to where, like, I have another example would be when I was younger, getting in trouble all the time. My brother Bryant, he will always do something crazy, or my cousins would do something crazy. And although I personally was not the person doing the actions or behavior that got me in trouble, I still was responsible for watching them. And anything that they did at that point, I was supposed to make sure they didn't get into trouble. I guess you could say that. But I would be the person who would get the top beaten overall because I failed to complete my assignment of watching them. So I was the boss in that instance, right? Now, for you people who don't have siblings, I'm going to give you another example. In the workplace, the boss is held responsible for the employees that work underneath him. He can become held accountable for their actions, if that's, his chain of command deems it so. But he's not accountable for the actions that his employees did towards the clients or customers or towards each other. But he can be held responsible, right? Now, I know this can sound confusing, but it's really not. Really, with accountability, the main differences is you're held liable for your own actions. Responsibility may refer to you being the boss or the owner of the task, but you per se didn't necessarily do the action that you're being held responsible for, right? Gotcha. I do have one more thing to say. This is Stu Radio on the radio. I know that the video is late, and I have 2 more videos that I have coming out because this video is late. So the good thing is you get more Stu. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you can find me, I have an email address that people have been asking me for. I don't know why you want my email address, but if you got any ideas, I'm always open to different things. So, this is Mr. Radio on the radio, no radio. You know where to find me. Have a wonderful day.